All right, guys, we wrap up the Denver road trip this week with the man himself on the pod, Justin the Highlight Gaethje. So we were able to catch up with Justin right after his fight with Max, spent some time out there, talked about that fight a little bit, talked about how Justin got into the MMA scene. Great story. What drives him about it. You know, one thing about Justin, having the opportunity to watch him train numerous times, getting ready for these huge fights is, you know, super focused guy, but also just loves to cut up, loves to have fun, loves to be around the boys. Just one of those guys, you know, if there's something going on, hey, let's gamble a little bit. Let's play a little pool. Let's have a good time. You know, Justin is one of those guys you just want to be around. Now, I don't know if I want to be against him in the octagon. It'd take your friggin' head off. But guy is just super legit. I've got to hang around him and his family, which means so much to him. Everybody there in the gym. He loves to also, you know, after that fight, he goes and he corners his boy Archie. Like, this is a guy that it's not just all about him, it's about the family, and not just his family, but his gym family, his community. Love that about the guy. Love spending time with him. I think you're going to get the same thing from him here too. Dude's fierce, dude's a killer, but heart of gold. Justin Gaethje this week podcast. Enjoy. Man, you hear that? Look at here. They're coming. They're coming. We're going to have a party. Hey guys, welcome back to Onyx here in Denver, Colorado. And we got my buddy joining us, Justin Gaethje. Justin, how's it going?
I'm great.
Awesome.
Great. Thanks for coming to my home.
Well, thank you guys for rolling out the red carpet, man. I've kind of told the story leading up to the first, you know, few podcasts we've done from here. And that's just, you know, we met obviously back at the 6 Hour event, me, Luke, Alex.
3 years ago, yeah.
Yeah, a couple years ago. You had great living conditions that weekend.
Amazing. Yeah. Love snow in your tent.
But
it was a good time.
It was a great time. And it really just kicked off a cool little relationship. And I know the boys got to cook for you out in Salt Lake, you know, for that fight. And then getting to come out here before 300. You've trained in a lot of places.
Yeah.
This is special, man.
Anything that Trevor does is special. My coach is an absolute genius. He's an artist. And yeah, this is pretty much for Corey Sandhagen just started training here. But before that, I pretty much had this whole place to myself. So
that's wild.
As an athlete training for fights, yeah, it feels good to come into a place like this, to feel like a champion, work like a champion, and be coached by a guy that teaches champions. So it's been a good ride.
You know, I got to talk to him yesterday, and his pedigree. I mean, my God. I mean, just boxing to start with. Any trainer that's their pedigree just in boxing, but not even counting what he's done in MMA.
No, we're a perfect mix because I was a pure wrestler. You know, I really needed to learn and wanted to learn the striking side of the game. And yeah, he comes from boxing, so it's perfect.
So let's talk about that. Because I just noticed the other night when I was reviewing a couple of your fights just to prepare for our discussion, I've watched almost all of them, you know, real time, either as pay-per-views or whatever. And I'm pretty good friends with Dan Henderson too. The one thing I did not realize until I'd watched a couple fights in a row, you and Hendo have a lot of the same style. And what is it about you wrestlers that have wrestled your whole life, and once you learn striking, you don't want to go to the ground unless you got to?
Yeah, I mean, so wrestling is exhausting. A college wrestling match is 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 minutes, and it's over.
That's cool.
We're fighting five 5-minute rounds in these championship or main event fights. And I was barely able to walk off the mat after 7 minutes of wrestling. So if I go in there and I do that for the first 7 minutes and then cannot defend myself and get knocked out, I would never forgive myself, and I would never have a chance to get paid what they pay me now. There's a lot of reasons. Another, you know, me and Henderson, very similar in our wrestling too. Defense is just as much of the game as offense. I was never a great offensive wrestler. I was always a great defensive wrestler. And I was always crazy athletic. I was a quarterback in high school. I was a pitcher in high school. I can kick the shit out of things. You know, footballs, you know, soccer balls. So that's, you know, that athletic ability, and then the mentality that I learned growing up, you know, believing in yourself. It's one-on-one situations. That's what I use from wrestling. That's what Henderson uses from wrestling. That's what Chuck Liddell used from wrestling. But this is the entertainment business, and I get paid a lot of money only because of the choices I make when I get in there. And I don't think I would change I don't think I would change tactics if I could. So
No, and I don't
I'm
think so.
happy that I took this route.
But what I think is so dynamic, and it does speak to what athletes you guys are, and talking about Hendo and Liddell too, is to be that great at that, but then pick this up and that be actually where you I mean, I think you guys make your names as overall fighters because you gotta have the full thing, but they call you the highlight, and the highlights are you knocking motherfuckers out,
Yeah.
you know?
I mean, wrestling makes men. I mean, it turns, little boys like I was
Mhm.
into men. And it's not as physical as fighting, obviously, but a wrestling match is a competition. It's a dirty competition. It's hard, grueling, it's physical. And so we've always been this. And then the ability to be coached, I think, is also a huge trait from wrestling that all of us that you're talking about have very similar traits in that we are very coachable. And we found people that would guide us and guided us correctly. And then we learn. And yeah, it's been so fun.
And what I find too that I think is very cool, here specifically is like you talk about coachability, but then you look at like the next up and comer like Archie.
Yep.
You know what I mean? You talk to Coach Chi, you talk to Luke. Number one thing they say about him, not only is he just amazing at what he does, he's super coachable.
Yeah.
So I
No,
feel like too, like guys in here look up to you and see how coachable you are for where you're at. And then that's just going to continue to filter down to that next breed.
I mean, you're talking to another college high level wrestler.
Yeah.
That's, that's it makes good men.
Yeah.
That sport makes good men, especially if you love it and you really believe in your abilities to go far, whatever that is. But yeah, I mean, there's so many attributes that we all have from wrestling, and it's those are my people. That's who I surround myself with. That's who I've been around my whole life. So it's perfect.
One of the things I gleaned from the weekend we spent out here together was, talking to you a little bit about, coming up and wrestling and this and that. But then, your family being completely around you. And then,
Yep.
you started sharing some stories about, you've wrestled your whole life and the way your mom and dad would take, whatever money they had to go off and let's go do this tournament or that tournament.
Mhm.
You mind sharing a little bit? Because you just spoke about it with such passion. And I feel like sometimes people only see that guy that's in this octagon for 5 rounds of 5 minutes.
Yeah.
But I just thought the way you talked about it and the way you love being surrounded by family and what it means to you, I just felt like it's almost too good not to ask you to share.
Yeah. I mean, I can't tell you how blessed and lucky that I am to be, to have my parents. My parents, I think, they led from the front. They always led by example. They were never doing things and telling me not to do it. They were always working hard. They never took a day off work. Neither one of them. I'm telling you, they're hard workers and they knew what their job was, and their job that they took on that nobody has to take on fully is providing for us. And that's what they did. They've always loved us. I never was once able to stay the night at a friend's house. My mom would buy 500 packs of drug tests off the internet, and she drug tests me twice a week. My mom did not fuck around, and I needed every bit of that, and then I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for that. Um, and no matter how bad I fucked up, which I did do, I was definitely not the black sheep, but I was the troublemaker of the family when it comes to us three or us four. But they were always there, and no matter what, they just loved me, and I think that's so important. To what we're doing right now, when I step into these situations, I'm by myself, but the confidence knowing that I have people that love me no matter what, that are going to be there for me no matter the outcome, um, that brings me confidence, and confidence is a huge factor when I'm in there. So they're a huge part of why I've been able to come so far, why been able to come back from so many obstacles and failures, because no matter what, the look on their face is always the same. So it's been great for me. Can't imagine a life without it, and I understand that not everybody has it. That's why when I went into college, I first went into criminal justice, and then I was like, no, I'm going to do some kind of social work because, for one, I met my best friend Rocco. Did not have had not the complete opposite of what I had, but not what not the same thing. He's come so far from what everybody thought he would come, and just by one or two people, deterring him from making terrible choices was all it took. So when I went to college, I was like, I'm gonna do human services was the degree, but social work was my intentions.
Mhm.
And now I get to really, it's absolutely amazing. That's my favorite part about what I do now. I get to make my family proud, but outside of that, I get to inspire
Yes.
like the world. It's absolutely insane. It's what my intentions have been since I was a child, and now I get to do it through violence, which is a little bit different and different than what I thought was a possibility. But this sport is so worldwide. I get messages from all over the world about how inspirational my effort.
Mhm.
Humans recognize effort. They see my effort. They see my desire, and it's relatable. Fighting is so relatable, and these people I'm relating to people across the world that don't speak the same language as me. I'll never be able to have a conversation with them, but I understand that I inspire them through my actions. So it's my favorite part of what I'm doing. And the only reason I took that route is because I have the parents that I have. So it's been fun.
Yeah, no, it's awesome, and just hanging around your parents and just great people. I mean, how can you not have a good time drinking cold beers with Ray? I mean, come on,
Right?
And then you
Just
got
don't
mom.
try to keep up with him. Maybe you can. I think you can, but nobody else in the world except you, except for old boy.
That's funny. And then your mom, she's good in the kitchen too now, man.
Oh
That
yeah.
that that green hatch chili verde they made.
I mean, one of my favorite memories as a child is all the way up until I was in high school. We ate at the dinner table from what I remember every single night.
Yeah.
We had family dinner every single night at the table. Had to put a shirt on. It was a fight every night. But it was my
Yeah.
favorite. Some of the biggest arguments we've ever had. But
Yeah.
it's the best times. Some of my best memories. So
Yeah. No, it was just well, yeah, and
they did it right.
I think too a lot of times when you are given the opportunity to have that kind of access, and get to hang around, your family and understand that whole dynamic, you learn a lot about a person, right? Like if you hung out with me and what Jason has here from Troll, like we did dinner together with my parents, I think it just gives you a little more vision
Yeah,
into a person.
it's
You know what I mean?
context. It's context. Um, you never, for one, with the age of the internet, you can't trust anything or anybody, and so no matter what you show me, I'm never gonna truly believe it. But it puts more context into it when you meet someone's family. Absolutely.
True. When was it that you knew this was the life for you? I mean, obviously, you know,
Yeah.
great high school wrestler, great collegiate wrestler. Like, was it while you're in college? I mean,
No, it's
obviously, you're getting a
fucking.
degree that
This
you're.
whole thing is fucking nuts. Just to look back and just think of the the times that I went through. I was in college and I was like, this looks really fun. I want to do it. Me and my buddy Rocco, who I was talking about,
Mhm.
he had been in so many street fights. I'd never been in a street fight. And he talked about how he knocked all these people out. So we're like, let's take a fight. So my coaches were like, get your grades up and we'll get you a fight, in college during the summer times in between wrestling seasons. And so I'd come out of these seasons in the best shape of my life. And then they were like, all right, we'll get you a fight. So me and Rocco took a fight first night. He fought right before me, got knocked out. And I was like, holy shit, what the fuck am I doing? And
Because you're going Rocco's been in a bunch of
yeah, a
street
bunch of
fights, right,
fights. I'd
man?
never
Shit.
thrown a punch. I'd never been punched. Like it was crazy. So I was a wrestler though. So I went out there and I body slammed him. 26 seconds in, if it was a street, he would have died. And that's why I do not get in street fights because I do not ever want to accidentally kill somebody. But he went to sleep for like 5, 6 minutes, pissed himself, and I was hooked from that, that moment. That was outside on a softball field. It was awesome. It's on YouTube. Um, yeah, and then so after that, I was like, so I take 2 or 3 fights in between wrestling seasons. I never thought I was still working towards a human services degree. I was gonna, you know, thinking about what I was gonna do for my internship. And then as soon as I was done, because while I was wrestling in college, you could not. Times are different now. Now they can take money.
Right. Yeah.
Back then, you could not take money, or you would lose your amateur
Mhm.
status and could not compete in the NCAA's anymore. So all these amateur fights, um, fuck it, I can say it now. Like you make like $200-300 maybe. Well, so what would you do? They'd give you tickets, you'd sell them, and then by the end, you took so much money out that my parents had to put money in
Yeah,
to
yeah,
cover my ass.
right.
And that's how it was for the first 5, 6 fights. My fifth fight, I almost got knocked out. And I was like, okay, I need to figure out what the fuck I'm doing here or how to fight. And so Shane Carwin lived up in Greeley, and I met Trevor randomly at a fight, at my fifth fight, the one I almost lost. I
Ring
almost
of
got
Fire
knocked out.
2011, right?
Yep. And he was like, come down here, come see if Shane will bring you down. So Shane Carwin, when he was about to fight Brock Lesnar, started driving me down in his pickup truck from Greeley, Colorado. I jump in with him twice a week. And that was cool to see, you know, that caliber of athlete and that level of athlete going through all this when I was just starting. So that was an amazing time, an amazing experience. So then I would start coming down here, and then after my last year of competing, I was like, I'm going to turn pro. Needed to do an internship. Still to this day, have not completed the internship. My parents, it's the only thing my mom's really
Is that
does.
the only thing that keeps you from your degree as an internship?
Yeah, yeah, it's stupid. But so I turned pro, started taking pro fights, and I was this is fun. Started fighting in Arizona, fighting in Colorado, making $2,000, $1,500. My mom sold like 900 tickets one time in Arizona. I made like $7,000. Yeah, that was by her hand, dude. By her hand. Yep, 100%. Call it what you want. She was slinging.
Hustling, baby.
And then I after my 7th fight, fighting around this region, World Series of Fighting was coming on, and they were Trevor had known my manager Ali for a long time. Ali used to work out with Trevor, and so Trevor was managing me at the time, and he's like, "Hey, you need to be managed or represented by a real manager. So I'm gonna get Ali. I know Ali. I trust Ali. So I got with Ali in 2010 or 2011, and another great thing that's happened to me. That guy is one of the most loyal people that I've ever met. And he works hard for the people that he works for, and it's awesome to see. But so I signed with World Series of Fighting, and I was like, okay, cool. They were like, you're gonna get paid 4 and 4, and I fought in Atlantic City on TV versus a guy that had a lot of fights, and I went in there, and I was at that point I was a much crazier person than I am today, much crazier, and I was just
In the ring or out of the ring or both?
everything. I was a lot. I was not who I am today. I was a 25-year-old kid
That's
with zero responsibility, no girlfriend, no kids, living alone, training every day. That's all I've been doing. 35 years old, I'm still doing this shit.
Yeah.
Like it's different. But so yeah, I never knew, but let me get there. So then then they paid me. I won in Atlantic City. First, a guy that's been a Brazilian, tough Brazilian, like 30 years old, been around the block, fought in the UFC. First UFC vet I had fought. And no, I cut his face open. First round of one, and I had no idea if I won. They were like, "It's over." I was like, "Did I win?" And they're like, "Because if I won, I got 8,000. If I lost, I got 4,000." So I was like, "Did I win?" And they're like, "Yes." I was like, "Fuck, you're giving my fucking money. Let's go." So they accidentally paid me 5 and 5. So they gave me two $5,000 checks. They used to give you checks then, so they gave me the checks that night. And then my family we had never been to New York City. My mom had never been to New York City. So we're like, let's go to New York City. And we had it all planned. Then my sister had a baby, so my mom flew back. But me, my dad, my girlfriend went to New York City, and my brother. And I was like, I'm fucking rich. So I went on Sunday. So I fought Saturday, Sunday. I put the two $5,000 checks into my account. They freeze everything, and I have $0 till Monday at least.
Yeah,
so like, this is fucking bullshit.
Because you're never to check that.
Yeah. And then they just kept fighting one at a time. It's been one at a time since then. The next fight, they were like, I was like, I better get 6 and 6 now because you paid me 5 and 5. It's like, no, we messed up, so we're gonna pay you the same. So I was like, all right, got the first $10,000 check. I was like, I'll never be broke as fuck. Get the next $10,000 check. I was like, I'm never gonna be broke. That was a continuous cycle. And then I was making, then I started making, I was making.
And so you're living off of that. You're training full time.
Training full time. At that time, I have jobs. I'm doing demolition, different waiting tables at different restaurants. Trying to get by, trying to make it because again, I would always run out of money because we're an idiot. We live by our means. I did.
Yeah.
Which you shouldn't do. But it was easiest time of my life. No responsibilities. And then they started paying me like 30 and 30, and I was like, oh shit. I remember I won.
Do you remember that fight?
I think I won 20 and 20 one night, and we won. My dad's at the bar. He's like, $40,000. He's like, fuck yeah, let's go. And they're just super, because they worked their ass off. He worked in a mine for 37 years. He's making $40,000 working a year.
Yeah.
At the beginning. So, yeah, I mean, he's pumped. Everyone's pumped up. Again, go broke. It's like, dude, what the fuck's wrong with you? And then I'm getting paid 100, fighting for the belt. And then I was like, all right, this is my job. And then the UFC side, I was, World Series of Fighting, I was making 100 and 100. So I made $200,000 my last fight. And then the UFC and Bellator were in a little bidding war for me when you're a free agent. UFC offered me 100 and 100 with guaranteed I would fight someone in the top 5 first fight. And I was like, okay. And there's a $50,000 bonus every single time I fight. And the way that I fight, I'll get those bonuses. So like, I'm going to get paid $250. And the Bellator was like, we'll give you 300 and you can fight for the belt first fight. And then if you win, you'll get 500. And so I was like, dude, I gotta go. My dream was to go to the UFC.
Yeah.
Hindsight, never should have even been a fucking second that I guessed about that. The platform that the UFC gives you is astronomical. Can never be matched. The amount of money that I make on the internet with my Instagram is way more than I probably would have ever made with Bellator. So it's crazy. And here we are. Now people want to take pictures of me and do podcasts. It's just crazy. It's just crazy.
No, but you know what, man? Justin, I think it's because you've stayed so relatable. You know what I mean? You're still that dude that was, and I'm not just saying this because I don't know you that well, but I'm saying that because that's what you hear from Archie and Trevor.
No, I mean, that's one thing that Trevor will always say. I'm same person. Obviously, a lot less crazy. You know, the older, with age comes wisdom. We get softer. That's a fucking battle. That's a whole different conundrum. So here we are.
No, to me, it's absolutely amazing. And one of the stories that Archie told the other day that I kind of think speaks volumes about you is, you know, obviously coming right off of 300, which we'll talk about in a bit if you don't mind. Archie's fighting in Paris.
Mm-hmm.
And
I told him I was going before the fight. Got knocked out. I wasn't going to take my word back. So I went.
Dude, and that was so
I had a good time, though. I loved it. I loved being there for him.
And that was so cool because he's like, dude, he had every reason in the world to say, hey, man, you know I got your back, but I'm going to do it from here. Like, da-da-da. He's like, never, he's like, he just walked up to me in the gym and was like, hey, man, so when are you getting over there? Like, I get in on this day at this time. He's like, oh, you're still coming? He's like, I gave you my word, didn't I?
Yeah.
And that's cool as shit, Justin. I mean, that's rad.
There was never a thought.
Yeah. What do you think about that guy? Tell me what you think. As a guy that's been through the game, what do you see the future looking like for Archie?
I mean, I love the dude. I have all the confidence in the world in his abilities to compete and to be dangerous and to be, you know, capable of doing everything that he wants to do in this sport. I think it's a crazy game. There's a little bit of chance and a little bit of luck. And I think that he's doing the right things. You know, he's got kids, he's living at home, he's doing all the right things year round. Something I was not doing when I was his age because of those reasons. I think he's gonna go a long ways. I think, you know, he's a little bit older than me. He started later than me, but I think he's gonna surpass anything that I've done.
Wow, that's a pretty strong statement, old boy.
He fucking better.
I love that. One of the fights I went back and watched and kind of just making sure I was boned up for our discussion was the Ferguson fight. That, you know, we watched it again last night. I've watched it like 3 times in the last 2 days. What was interesting to me about it was that fight, if it was not during COVID, I mean, that crowd would have been ridiculous.
Same as every single fight.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, that would have been the crowd would have popped for that fight the same way they popped for 300. Like, that was that. Like, did you know Ferguson was that tough going into that fight? You hit him with some shit, Justin.
I knew he was that crazy.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. But no, for me, that was just a learning experience. It was a great learning experience. It was the first time I ever got to be that intense without that outside source that you don't know is it affecting me? How is it affecting me? And so that was the first time I ever got to experience it without it. And so I understood how I am or am not affected by that outside source that I never even knew, you know, was a factor. So that was a fun learning experience for me. I think, I don't know if it's good. Everything I learned has gone away now.
Yeah.
Fuck to me. Every time you fight, it's fucking.
You learned something new, right? Yeah.
Stupid.
But to me, well, you know, that. And so what did you glean from it? Because you're such a fan favorite and you get so much pop just for being you. Did you find that it made a difference? Or is it just like once you get in that mode, you're just locked in on him?
I can only analyze it in hindsight. So I don't, like, you can never go back there.
Yeah.
No matter if you get knocked out, knock someone out, like you're not retaining information because it's too fast.
All right, proud sponsor of the show, better damn well be Whiskey Bent BBQ. So this is a brand that Nicole and I started a little over a decade ago. You can find our rubs and seasonings in about 500 different retail locations throughout the U.S., Academy Sports, select Ace Hardwares, and then obviously here at our store in Lakeland, Florida. If you want to go check it out, please feel free to. WhiskeyBentBBQ.com, and you can use my discount code OldBoyPodcast for 15% off.
I think that after that fight, I was confident that I had to be aware, because I thought that if the crowd was there, I would have gone harder, and I thought what I did was perfect. So I thought maybe I probably was in the past affected by the outside source. But it's all it's all guessing.
Hindsight, yeah.
And so after that fight, I was like, okay, I got to fight more calm, cool, collected. And then I went too far, I believe. So now there's a happy medium somewhere.
So when do you feel you went too calm and collected?
I mean, definitely the last fight for a lot of reasons. But yeah, I think last fight for sure. I was like, I'm fast, I'm dangerous. No matter if I try or don't try, I cause damage. So just let it happen. And that's not the game.
Well, going back to the Ferguson fight for a second, the one thing I think Trevor said, it could have been maybe
He said take 20, just take 10% of this off.
that was
Yeah, I mean it's one of those things, we've all done it. Like golf. It's a game of opposites. Similar in life. The harder you try, sometimes the worse you do in a lot of situations. You just gotta trust, be more methodical and intuitive. Intuition is all I'm using in there. And so I just have to trust that instead of making things happen, trying to do something, trying to knock them out. Every time I've ever knocked somebody out, it was on accident.
yeah, that's actually where I was going with the next question was, do you find yourself that you're more effective when you're not headhunting? You're trying to land a great blow, right? But it's coming with a combination, or you're using this to set up that, and that's usually the ones that
I mean, again, yes and no, because go too far, then it's detrimental. Because it's still dangerous. You're in a dangerous situation. You have to understand there's danger. And if you don't believe it's danger, your body doesn't give you what it needs to. It doesn't put the glycogen in your liver. It doesn't produce the adrenaline. And if that doesn't happen, then now it's a whole different environment. And so without understanding and believing and knowing that the danger is there. So like if you're too confident, you're not going to believe the danger is relevant enough, and your body's not going to go there. And so it's a weird game that you have to know. So you have to try to hurt them, because or else you don't pick fight, you pick flight. And so it's just a fucked up game, man. It's so fun to play though. And once you read about what your body does for you, it's cool to understand, how capable humans are of so many different situations.
well, and that's one of the things I was going to ask too, is kind of through the maturation of your career, these last couple of years, do you find yourself in camp and leading up to the fight, like paying more attention to your body, not only how it'll react in the ring, but like preparing it as well as you can leading up to it? Like I know you had that chef that was with you this last time before you rehunt. Like, is it small things like that as you get a little older, and obviously you get a little more money where you can afford to do that during camp too?
Oh, I'm gonna give you the same answer every time. It's good and bad, man. Like once you sleep in soaked sheets, like how hungry are you? These fuckers are coming from around the world, from the most diabolical situations, from favelas and the deepest inner cities of crime and drugs, and they're coming for us because they're capable and able to get here. Because it takes nothing. You don't have to have money. You don't have to have things. You just have to have a person and some dirt. And they're coming. They're coming from across the world. So I'm not sure what your question was, but it took me there.
That's all right. So, no, I was just talking about, have you focused more on your body?
Oh, it's good. Yes, it's all good. Yeah. So yes. But I mean, you have to. For me, it's like I got to get on that treadmill 2 to 3 times a week, or I'm being, because then I'll win, and then I'll lose, and then shit will hit the fan, and then I'm like, what the fuck were you thinking? Now I got to get back on the treadmill and run 3 times a week and sit in the sauna, and then you win 2 or 3 fights, and every single time you're like, I'm doing everything I can, but you're not running on the treadmill. You're not sitting in the sauna. Like, it's just a weird fucking game.
Speaking of saunas,
Yeah, they suck.
well, what do you think about what Trevor's building out here, though?
Yeah, no, he's a G.
That's what
I'm
that's.
telling you, anything he touches. I haven't tried. Look at the bags. He made ace by hand. We were hitting the walls. He made the cage. Everything.
No, it's so cool, and to hear him talk, you know, when we got to chat the other day about Onyx, and then you know, and just sitting here and we're doing podcasts, and I can hear him in there building gloves himself.
He's in there all the time on that sewing machine. I mean, it's crazy. Everyone wants to work for themselves, but my God, is it hard.
Yeah.
You know, we started this from nothing. Usually, you know, you start from an idea and someone kind of gets it going and then you jump into it. But no, we started from square one. He started making all my equipment that I would train with. And then I was like, dude, you got to make this shit for people. And so we're like, let's see how we can do that. And now we're 6-7 years in, and it's been a bitch, but we've come a long ways, and we're about to sign with one of the biggest manufacturers in the world. So
I love it, and that was one of the places I kind of wanted to go with the conversation too, is because I feel like you've been very good with it, and will only get better with it as your career goes on. Is finding the right partnerships, because I feel like that's something that you've created your personal brand's amazing, right? Like you're a man of the people. You're willing to put it all on the line. Luke and Trevor have both shared the story about seems like a good day to die today, boys. Like let's go out and leave it all in the fucking octagon.
makes Luke throw up every time.
He told me he didn't think he was going to till you said that this time. And you got him.
That was me probably that I said. So if I, again, like this is all things that I don't retain. But if I said it this time, I was probably trying to pump myself up because I knew I was underestimating for some reason. I think it was my intentions because I'd never ever intended on fighting this guy.
Mhm.
And that's such a hard game. Like whenever I watched this dude stream video games for like 3, 4, 5 years before I fought him. I never thought about fighting him. So that was that's a lesson learned. Like I'll fight him again right now and I'll try to kill him. I promise you. But
Yeah.
just something you can't know until it's over. And
It's
it's not an excuse. It's just,
no.
that was the case.
And that's got to be some shit the next day, the next week, the next month. Just a competitor like yourself that always wants to be the best. That shit keeps shipping that a little bit, doesn't it? Or do you have to have a short memory?
What it does is maybe get on the treadmill because I sleep good. 9 hours. 9 hours every night.
Or you're 9 hour?
9 to 10. I need it.
Are you early?
That's why I'm fucked right now because I got up for golf.
Are you like
Now I sleep from 12 to 9.
Okay.
12 to 9:30.
Yeah. So you're like,
no kids, no wife. What do you want from me?
Hey, I'm that same guy, that same situation. That's why it's like, why would I? And do you ever find yourself doing shit like this, Justin? Like, our buddies got wives and kids. They got to take care of this, and that'll be like 10:30 at night, and I'll be like, there's that PS5. Fuck it. Probably should get online.
Yeah, 100%.
And guess what? You play till 2 in the morning, maybe because you ain't got shit the next day.
I don't know. 12 o'clock, 11:30. I got to be in bed at 12. But yes.
Yeah, but
all day.
This
is my coach's son is my partner online.
Oh, okay.
He's so damn good though. It's good and it's bad. Again, like everything, he's fucking so good. So my lobbies suck, but we win. But he has like 17 kills and I got 2. So it's like, but I did win.
But did I contribute?
Also,
no. Terrence is the man, huh?
Terrence, yes.
All right. I need to make sure and get your online gaming profile before I leave here.
He's just gonna fuck your lobbies up. That's all he does. It's not good. Unless you're really, really good.
I'm not.
Okay, then don't.
So I probably shouldn't. Okay.
You do it though, because you'll win.
So, getting back a second, you've done a very good job of positioning for after fighting. Some of these brand deals, some of the things like when you're looking at what do you do and how do you set you up for the future? Obviously, partnering with Trevor on some things is obviously a great opportunity. What other things do you see kind of after fighting, Justin, that you want to be a part of?
One of the craziest things about right now is the revenue income I got from Instagram, but that shit's not gonna last forever. I'm really trying to work on some kind of passive income. Me and 3 partners just purchased the Beaver Park Sports Shop. So there's 3 of them, biggest ones in Winter Park, Colorado. So that should, I'm trying to do things like that. But I've worked on fighting my whole life.
Yeah.
I really, again, look for people that know what we're doing. And then when I find trust, then I look for guidance. And I've, been lucky to find a couple different avenues I just bought a house in Arizona, custom house. Very odd way of buying a house, but I think it's going to be one of the best things, business wise that I've done. Everyone's going to be like, you're an idiot. We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see. It's these people built this house. It's in the most pristine place in the town where I live. The town's projected to grow by 4,000 people in the next 2 years because the mine's expanding, and there's absolutely no houses for anybody. And it's just a great house but it's never been sold. They built it. It's
Like a
never
spec
been.
house that just sat there.
No, they've lived in it for 5 years.
Okay, yeah.
But it's never been on the market, so it's never been appraised. It's never been inspected. So nothing on paper says it's worth anything. That's the craziest shit ever.
Sometimes you gotta roll the dice.
We're gonna see. I think it was a good choice.
Awesome.
My sister's gonna live there for the next 2 years. She's looking for a house. Her husband just got a new job, so she's gonna rent it for the first 2 years. So that part's,
Are you
her and my
giving her
sister
family and
also.
friends discount?
Fuck no. Hell no.
This is an investment
She's
property.
She's like, I want to buy it in 2 years. It's like, well, if you're gonna buy it in 2 years, then you can't pay anything less. I'm gonna go up 1,000 the next year. Like, because if she can't afford it, then she can't afford it. Right? She won't be able to afford it. And if she says I can't pay that, then like, okay, I'm gonna hold on to it for 5 years.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
No, that's awesome. And then I gotta say that you keep kind of going back, and we mentioned the Instagram profile here and there.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
The partnerships that you've picked are fun though. And you're doing pretty damn good on DraftKings right now, boy.
Price Picks. Price Picks is crazy. Yeah, it's a crazy deal.
Now, do you spend a little time in that, or you just look at it?
So me and my brother tag team.
Okay.
My brother has problems. My brother has problems. So yeah, but he's winning some money. He won. I mean, can't even say it. Say they give me $20 a month, and he won $18. Could be in $10,000, $20,000 increments.
Yeah,
but it's crazy. This guy's nuts.
That's
I love betting on golf. The bet I chewed him out last night. He sends me this thing. He picked it. I was like, dude, I'm fucking right here. I would love to, even if you don't take my input, like let me be a part of it.
Yeah, it is my
shit. Be fucking a part of it.
All right, you brought up golf.
Ah, fucking guy. Yeah,
Where did that obsession come from?
I don't know. I think I love the game.
How long have you been playing?
Well, so my dad would play all the time. My mom they got in a lot of fights because of it, and now she's retired and can't stop golfing. That's funny to watch, to see her fall in love with golf after they almost divorced over it maybe 20 times. But yeah, she loves. So my dad would go all the time. He would take me because my mom was like, if you're going, you're taking the kids. So I'd go with them in the cart. They'd be on the green. I'd be on the next tee box, hitting balls or just messing around the whole time. And then got into college. And I was like, I love this game. Took golf twice in college. Because why not?
Yeah, I mean, so you get point, or you get
1 credit.
Yeah, credits. 1 credit. Yeah.
I knew I was there for 5 years, so I did 3 3-credit classes and 3 1-credit classes every semester. If the math added up, no matter what I was going to get there, I had to be there for 5 years. There was no way around it. So that's what I did. So it's good. Bowling, golf, fucking ropes course, flag football. Favorite. Straight A's.
How often do you try to play outside of camp? When you're out of camp,
so I fought April 13th. Shit, it's been so long now. It feels like a month, but it's been almost probably 3 months now. It's been over 3 months. Oh my God. Out of the 90 days, I've played at least 70.
Oh shit.
And I'm kind of embarrassed. I got a golfer's elbow. Fucking real. It's crazy. I Googled it. It's like, yep. All right. It's like tennis elbow.
Yeah, like a little bit in it. Yeah.
Yeah, just from stupid.
All right.
Yeah, I've been playing a lot, but I love it. I love it. My only goal from now on is to win as many fights as possible, so that I can play in as many celebrity golf tournaments as possible for as long as possible. Like, right? There's a correlation there.
Yes.
The longer you win, the more you're relevant, the more they want you to play in the golf games. Like that's.
So you're actually taking the route of a major league pitcher.
Yes.
Would it be the David Wells?
Exactly. John Smoltz.
Yep.
Send it.
I love that. You know what I find is so funny though, is so many top of their game athletes
love golf.
Yes.
It's such a challenging sport. If you really want to be good at and get better at golf, like it's as hard as being the best at anything. Even though you're never going to be the best.
Yeah, it's so funny because, you know,
Mentally, and it's all mental.
yeah, no, it is.
Everything, every sport, like you're either again, like what I'm doing, I'm not have to be blessed with size. I was blessed with dense bones. I'm a dense motherfucker, but outside that, like anybody could do it. These baseball players, they're fucking nuts. They can hit the ball so far.
I'll tell you a perfect example of one.
Tennis players.
I was telling Trevor the story yesterday after the podcast, sitting there bullshitting with Griffey Jr. We'll play it on his simulator at the house all the time.
Oh,
And he's never played Augusta. And so he calls me up 2 days before and he's like, hey, going to play Augusta tomorrow. Or 2 days. Like, really? He's like, yeah. I was like, how'd you get on? He's like, Saban's taking me. So he calls me back. So I just, honestly, we talked. I said, hey, let me know how it goes. So he calls me back on the ride home. And he's like, dude, I fucking blew it. Like, I can't believe this bullshit. And I'm like, well, man, what'd you shoot? I mean, this goes on for like 5 minutes, Justin. Like, mattered in hell. I was like, well, what'd you shoot? He was like, 75.
man, fuck him.
And I'm like, that's exactly what I said. I'm like, dude, fuck you. He's like, Saban shot 73. Said that old coach. He's like, he's not an athlete. He's a coach.
I love it. I just played in Patrick Mahomes' golf tournament out in Vegas.
Yeah.
I just played in Daryl Green's golf tournament out in fuck, where were we? Virginia?
Did I hear Mahomes has a good time?
Yeah. Yeah. It was in Vegas.
Yeah.
So it was good.
Awesome. So it's been since after the fight, it's been tough. Couple celebrity golf tournaments.
I have been home. So in those 3 months, I've been home 3 weeks at most.
Yeah.
Paris. I don't even remember where I went. That's the fucked up thing. Everyone was like, dude, you don't have to. I'm like, I do so much cool shit. Yeah. How can you? I'm just there enjoying it. Yeah. I stop trying to make, and then I don't get to remember it all, which is good. Like, I don't know if that's a problem or not, but I don't think it is because I only have so much gigabytes going on the upload. There's not enough room.
Yeah.
So I get to do some cool shit. I get to meet some cool people. And I need an assistant to keep those contacts. Shut up. It's Cormier. Answer it.
Chili?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He calls me all the time. All the time. He called me 2-3 days ago. No, it was a week ago now because I was fucking home. Holy shit. And he just no, it wasn't Mexico. He calls me. He said, hey, look at this. So he puts his phone up and he just hitting golf balls. I live on a golf course. I just came down here right now. He's like, what do you think about my swing? I was like, you're so stupid.
So you're better than him.
Yeah, I am better than him. There is a handicap.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. And so, yeah, it's a good game.
What is your handicap?
I have to give him. I need to plug the scoring from today because I was comfortable today saying I'm a 9.5, but now I'm comfortable taking any bet at like 11 because it was bad. But that's not fair. I think if I put it in, I'll go to a 10.
Okay, but all you got done telling me as soon as you got in here was I'm suffering from Mexico. So are you sure maybe you didn't come back? You got a tournament coming up.
So
you got a tournament coming up.
I hit 3 drives today, farther than I have in 15 years. So I don't know. I can't use that excuse. I think it's bullshit.
Now I hear you play a little bit of a slice.
Now no more.
Oh, you're straightened up, bro. You're down the middle.
Straight, maybe even a little bit of a draw.
Okay, so you say 3 of your best drives. What are we looking at? Distance wise?
300. I hit 3, yeah, and my average is maybe 230. It was nuts.
Oh,
I'm telling you.
What are you swinging?
And I scored way worse. So stupid.
What are you swinging? What are you?
PXG hooked me up with the whole bag.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah, I played for with the celebrity sweat is what it's called, and they had a celebrity league set up. He got pushed back a year, so I'm still waiting on that. But they hooked us all up with clubs. John Smoltz, Darius Rucker. There's a bunch of names. Marcus Allen, Ken Griffey Jr.
Hey, have you ever got to smoke with Darius?
I smoked with Mike Tyson.
Can't
beat that. Me and Mike Tyson in the room smoking a joint together.
Hey, if you ever get to smoke,
scary and a fucking awesome same time.
Oh, that is kind of scary.
Just like this.
Yeah,
obsessed in a room by yourself.
If you ever get a chance with Darius, dude, he was a good one too.
All right, I did. If he fucking burns,
hey, buddy, he tells stories about going to Woody's house.
Got something for you outside.
Hey, don't threaten me with a good time, old boy.
Got you.
All right, I need to talk to one more thing. 2 quick things. So we're talking about golf. Let's go back. You've got this celebrity golf or this charity golf tournament you do
Well, yeah,
coming up,
Yep.
which is awesome.
This year for St. Jude. So I'm doing it like it's an annual charity golf tournament, but I'm not confining myself to one choice. I'm changing if I can change it every year. The first 2 years I did it for a military organization out of Texas. This year I'm doing St. Jude because I think it's a wonderful
It's
organization.
very, yeah.
And thank God my family or me personally, it directly has never had to, but if I did, I
Or
would
when you talk
work
to
for a company or an organization like that. So
or when you talk to families that it has impacted.
exactly.
It's
So
so huge.
yeah, 100%.
So the first year, you kind of getting this thing off the ground, right? Chris may have shared a story with me about, was there a certain dear friend, potentially coach of yours, that suffered a concussion and some broken glasses at your first?
Yeah, 100%.
Proud sponsor of the show, Trollco Clothing. Love what the brand's about. It's all about supporting that blue collar worker. You know them for their trademark shirt and hat, dirty hands, clean money. It's not just a slogan, it is a lifestyle. Go visit trollcoclothing.com and use my discount code OldBoyPodcast for 15% off. While we're speaking about Luke, did he ever win $1,000 off of you involving wasabi?
Have you heard the story?
You just heard there was bits and pieces. I'd like to hear it from you.
You've heard all the stories, but not this one. So we're in New York City, COVID, can't leave the room, really hungry. I just beat Michael Chandler. So we ordered sushi to the room, and we're all just having a good time, pizza and sushi. And I had a container of wasabi. I was like, hey, Luke, if you eat this container of wasabi, I'll give you $500. He's like, hell no. He's like, give me $1,000, I'll put it on my asshole. I was like, bet. I was like, bet. So I pulled out $1,000. He puts it on his finger and scoops it on his butthole. And then he's hanging over the bathtub for like 10 minutes, splashing water on his culo. He got the 1,000 in one hand. He's like this.
Here's my problem is I feel like he should have at least broke off 50 to 100 for Ben, because Ben had to get the visual evidence.
So Ben did stick a camera near or around his asshole in order to get proof. Because this is a lying sack of shit, I'm telling you. This guy, even today, with the video and the reaction, I have no clue if that wasabi touched his asshole. I don't think it did. Because he's that good of a fucking liar.
Ooh, we're gonna have to go to the tape.
Dude, I'll never watch it. I'll never watch it. That shit's on OnlyFans. It's the only way.
And then one more funny I got for you.
Oh, fuck.
Trevor gave us a story yesterday about the first time you guys took your brand new UTV out.
Yeah.
His was still getting some work done to it.
Yep. No.
I believe he said Justin drives a UTV the same way he fights.
That I used to fight. That I used to fight. Yeah. I think it was about 6 minutes. I tore the entire one half of the rear end off. His tire was laying on the side.
He said, Chad, I think Gaethje paid $50,000 for this thing. He goes, it was $38,000 worth of damage.
This is how fucking stupid I am. Once you hear this, I'm gonna tell you, I need kids, I need a wife. Like, I'm working on it. So I tear the tire off. Okay. I go get it fixed. It cost me like $14,000. Get it all fixed, get it replaced. And then I replace everything. Then I take everything off and just do it all. Fucking so dumb. I was like, why did I replace it? It's not all the fucking stock shit at my house. Just sitting there. I'm like, you're such an idiot. Why I need an assistant, dude, for telling you. So, hey, there's options. You know, I already had I was like, I'm going to get it fixed so I can get it replaced. Bro. I swear.
Oh my gosh. So I said I want to talk about 300 for a second, a little bit more if you're all right with that.
Yeah, sure. What do you got?
How do you
ask Luke? Because I don't remember.
First off, when you look back at it, just what a fight! I mean, one of the greatest fights in UFC history.
I haven't watched it.
There was it was just a very in a match like that. Like you said, you don't remember anything.
The bad thing, I was more aware of this fight than ever. That's the issue. I remember up to a certain point, maybe like, I don't remember at all, except from the moment he knocked me out, no idea how much time elapsed on the clock.
Yeah.
But it had to be 25 to 40 minutes. I was awake, aware, conversating, not getting my hand raised.
Yeah.
But in the cage, he's there. I saw I saw footage of me talking to him in the back. But I remember, it's fucking crazy. The bad thing is most of my damages come from being a crazy motherfucker as a child, like football, wrestling. But there's different kind of concussions. And one of the concussions, the scariest one is, so you get knocked out, but then you don't even know if you fought. You're like, so then obviously you don't even remember asking, but I know for a fact I asked, did I win? What happened? At least probably 20 times in those 25, 30 minutes. And then I all of a sudden came to, in the ambulance, I saw my mom's face, and her face is what made me come back. And she was stoic and not crying. I was like, "What's up?" "Oh, nothing. You're good. I'm here for you." And I was like, "Oh shit."
You're being too nice, Mom.
Yeah, like fuck. And then from that moment, I remember the whole ride.
Right,
I remember going to the hospital. I remember the guys from the fights that are always next to you in the next room over. Yeah. And then you retain everything from that moment on. But again, it's very scary. When you put it in words, it's even scarier. But all it is the body's tactic to hide you from fear. And different things. I don't know. I don't know if it's fear, because there's no way I'd be fearful after it's over.
His body's protective.
I don't know how to say it, but every time I've had two TKOs before that. That's the first time I've ever been knocked out. I have a facility that I go to for neurological testing. Every single time they've done the testing, they've said if I wouldn't have done the testing with my own, wouldn't have seen it with my own eyes, I would never believe. But I pray that it's not chronic yet, and hopefully never will be. I'll pray that I don't go past the time whenever I should, so that it does become chronic. But I think that our sport is the most violent, but not the most dangerous. I don't think that we suffer the consequences of football players or boxers, because we receive the concussion or the TBI, and then it's over. And then after that, it's up to you to take. Like, I haven't sparred since. I'm not going to spar since. I think the body's ability to recover and heal is there. I think it's what we've done through time, like car crashes, falling down. We lived through that, and we heal. But it's the repeated concussions and the repeated TBIs. Boxers getting 2 or 3 in 36 minutes.
Yeah.
And football players getting 2 or 3 in 2 months, 3 months, and that's detrimental. And I think maybe in the past I wasn't as aware as I am now of the need to wait, but now I am waiting. And I have people around me that love me, my family, my coaches, that I trust to have a conversation with me when the conversation needs to be had. And when they come to me with that, then I would love to have a conversation. But until that day comes, I'm going to fight. And I'm going to work my hardest to be ready and prepare for these instances.
Yeah. And the one thing I look at is, you'd made a comment. I'm going to pull it up real quick because I don't want to unphrase it. I've referenced it in the last couple of discussions. I just want to make sure I read it back to you right. And it describes, and the reason I want to do this is, to me, 300 was such a testament to this. Like, you left everything out there. In that last 10 seconds, that was sick, Justin. Like, that was, he gave you that was.
You're a man, even if you're not a man and you're a competitor and you love to compete and you want to win. In that moment, I knew that if I wanted to win, I probably had to knock him out. I was maybe 2-2, but most likely 3-1. And I was also losing that round. So it was either going to be 3-2 I lose or 4-1 I lose. So if somebody points to the ground and you know that's your only chance, then why the fuck would you never? Why if you didn't go there, then what the fuck are you doing? If I didn't go there, I would have to retire.
Yes,
I'd be done.
yes, yeah,
Because what am I doing here? Especially if it's more a testament to him for giving you the chance.
yes,
Even though he's not 100% sure, you're never 100% sure that you're ahead on the scorecards, but he's pretty damn sure
yeah.
and still did it. So yeah, I mean, for me, if I didn't do that, then I would be done. For him, he deserves more credit than I do for going there
Sure, absolutely.
because he had more to lose.
Yeah. And I think the way that both of you guys have talked about each other after this fight is just phenomenal too. Like, yeah, you wanted to kill each other that night, but the fact that you can both just respect what the hell went down for those 25 minutes and you gave a
Yeah.
little bit of yourself to him and he gave a little bit of himself to you.
Yeah, I
You know?
mean most I would say 98% of the time that's the occurrence. That's what happens when it's over. I know what these guys have gone through. I know what they had to sacrifice. So there again, anybody who's willing to walk that road, I'm gonna have a mutual respect for.
Yeah.
In general, like before I even have a conversation or meet them, meet their family, whatever it is, but just their choices to make it and be where they're at. I know that someone that I would stand next to, in good times or bad times.
No, that mutual appreciation and just respect.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, hey, be careful if you give Luke a 6. He only does 3.
Hey, you want to hear a fucking story?
I gave him a 6.
Look,
I think he's over there.
Dumb
Like,
Lucas, okay? I swear to God. We're at the casino. We're rolling dice. He's never put one of these in. Ever. He's never done anything except maybe take one hit of weed in his life and drink a lot of fucking alcohol. But we're rolling dice. He's rolling dice. He freezes. He looks at me like, "Did you give me mushrooms?" And I was like, "You've never taken mushrooms. How the fuck would you know? What do you mean?" I was like, "What the fuck are you? You've never taken mushrooms. Why would you say that?" He's like, "I fucked up. I fucked up." I was like, "It's the Zen. The Zen is gonna get you." That's Luke's. That's Luke. I love him for all of those experiences.
and the way he talks about you, just hanging out with you guys, just seeing the way y'all beat the hell out of each other. It's a mutual love. But to wrap this whole thing up, Justin, this is the quote I was looking for, and I think it explains why I wanted you on this podcast, why you are the highlight, why people love you and respect everything you do. And it's a conversation between you and Trevor. And it says, Gaethje told Whitman, "I want to be the most entertaining fighter. The blue collar people who are paying for these tickets, there's not going to be one person that's ever going to leave my fight and say that wasn't the best fight of their life." And you look back at the Chandler fight, look back at the Ferguson fight, you look back at 300.
No, I'm the
Who
most.
the fuck could be disappointed?
I'm the
bro?
most consistent guy in there. I am a fan of this sport. I've been a fan of this sport for so long. I'm so spoiled. I've been to over 100 live events. And I tell people maybe 15% of the time does every single attendant and most people across the world get the feeling that they're looking for at the same time in the same instance. It's like a beam of light of just
Mhm.
human raw emotion. It turns you into an animal. I tell people don't watch my fights around your significant others, your in-laws, because I'm gonna, most of the time you'll be running up the street, breaking bottles and screaming out at the top of your lungs, and you're insane.
Yeah.
But that's what fighting does for people and to people. And I love that it's so relatable what I do. And it's so natural to me. So I don't understand, why, but
It's because of that. It's
I like
natural.
it.
You don't have to
it's-
work at it. You're doing what you love and sharing it with people.
Yeah. So it's been fun. I'm so happy I get to do this. I'm so happy for my parents who've never been here. People like this
Got to
special man over here. Now I have some good friends. I've done a good job at picking my friends.
keeping the circle tight.
Yeah, making mistakes
Mhm.
and learning from them, and then choosing the right people. So it's been good.
Absolutely. So they'll fire me as a podcast. Like you said, if you don't square off in the last 10 seconds against Holloway, you got to retire.
Yeah.
If I don't ask you what's next, I got to retire. Now you're taking a
Yeah.
little time off after the knockout.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, if they offered you a chance to go back at him again, would that be something?
of course, I don't think that's an option. I think there's 3 options.
Okay.
And I'm personally going to tell him that December is the time that I'm willing to fight, not before that. And sure, after that is okay. I think a fight that gets me back to a championship fight, which is the winner of Makachev and Sarukian, which should happen around October, November. So I'll fight December, someone wins. I think Oliveira rematch.
Okay.
I think Poirier rematch, or I think Volkanovski. I think those are 3 options. And outside of that, I'll be no.
Just somebody.
Yep. It has to be one.
Yeah.
It doesn't even have to be one of those. It could be anybody. I have a coach and a manager that will ultimately come to me.
Yeah.
And again, have a conversation, and I'll decide then. But I'll be ready for December.
So that's actually interesting. So Ali gets an opportunity. Does he talk to you first or Trevor first?
He calls me and says, "Hey, I'm going to call Trevor."
That's cool. Brings you in the know.
Yeah.
And you trust
He
Trevor.
goes, "Hey, this is what they want. I'm going to call Trevor. I'll call you back."
And that's got to make you feel good too, because
I want to be aware.
Yeah.
I want to be aware, but I want input, and especially from Trevor. And he'll ultimately make the decision. I will not.
Yeah. I love it, man.
Yeah.
I love it. I can't wait for the
I
next.
trust the people around me. So it's, again, a lot of people talk shit about Ali. I have nothing but good things to say.
Well, but he's taking care of you, and you've
Taking care
stuck
of
with
me.
him since the beginning.
I mean, I think 3 fights, that guy's been like, "Don't pay me. I want you to keep your money." That's probably over $150,000. He's just been like,
That's loyalty.
"I want you to help.
That's
Yeah,
loyalty.
I want you to keep it." So yeah, it's something he's never taken $1 of any sponsorship I've ever had, when most guys are trying to take 20%. So
That's a guy you want to work with.
I'm lucky.
Yeah,
Yep.
we are.
100%.
And hey, I feel lucky for getting to call you a friend, man. I appreciate you making the time.
Can't wait till next fight. Can't wait till next fight. You got to come at least on Wednesday so I can have some brisket.
Don't threaten me with a good time, old boy. Let's go. Let's go.
Oh yeah.
All right, guys. Justin, thank you again.
Yes.
Guys, thanks for tuning in. We got 1 or 2 more coming to you from Onyx. Thanks so much. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you next week.
Oh, boom.
All right, guys, I told you were in for a heck of a discussion, and we've got one going on. But I'm going to make you old boys and old girls come back next week for part 2 of the Trevor Whitman podcast. It's been great so far, and you don't want to miss it. It only gets better. Next week, we'll bring it to you, part 2. Till then, take care. Thank you so much for listening to the Old Boy Podcast. Please subscribe, like, set your notifications, whatever you got to do to make sure you're getting the latest episodes. Also, feel free to go back, whether it be YouTube, Spotify, Apple. Get some of the past episodes, check those out, and always feel free to check out our socials, Old Boy Podcast. Thank you so much.